Good afternoon, guys. Happy Friday. I wanted to do a bit of a sit-down video. It's one I haven't done one in quite a long time, and I want to read something about something that I recently did. It's kind of close to my heart. So, story time. 7.5 years ago, it was my freshman year in college. I signed up for Be the Match, which is the National Bone Marrow Registry. And of course, freshman year, you get a million things thrown at you. Like go join this organization or join that one or go to this insert sports game here or on campus event, and then they have like sign up for this credit card or come to this health seminar or something like that, or sign up to be a organ donor or this or that donor. So for the Be the Match, if I remember correctly, I think all it asked for was a cheek swab. And this was, like I said, 7.5 years ago, and I never thought in a million years that I'd get a phone call. But I always said, you know what, if I ever get a call, I'll answer it. Joke's on me, because I didn't answer the phone call when I got it, because I didn't recognize the number, and I don't answer phone calls if I don't know the number. And two, I didn't entirely think it was legitimate at first, so I had to do a little bit of research to make sure it was, and of course, turns out it was. So I went through the whole process, which was, they go through a health screening, like over the phone, just seeing, kind of your family health and other, personal things. And then they'll kind of go through and see like where you line up to everybody else that are potential donors in this little donor pool, I guess we could call it. So they sent me for some blood testing, which for me, I don't really have a problem with needles. As a matter of fact, I used to freak out my nurses when I was a kid because I would watch them give me shots. I used to be afraid of them when I was little, but then I got to about, I think like 8-9 years old, and I was like, all right, I gotta face my fear, so let's do it. And now I'm just like, okay. But and I think it's one of those things, it was with needles. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. It's just, you just gotta, you can't let it be afraid of you. Just like Will on Stranger Things, for those of you that watch the show. By the way, season 3. So anyway, back to business. So I went through the whole testing process. Went through the first initial blood testing. It came back great. They told me that I think it was between me and like one other person. And they're like, all right, we're going to send you for a physical just to, check, make sure you're in good health and whatnot, that you're good to donate. So I got a phone call probably a week after that physical. And man, let me tell you, this entire process from when I got that first phone call to donation day, it was less than 2 months, like all in total. So it's turnaround time was really, really quick on this. So after that physical, I got a phone call saying that I was an exact match for this person. And, it's such I don't know how to describe the feeling of that. When I was vlogging on the way to the donation the other day, I used the word euphoric, and it's not euphoric, but gratifying, I think, is an understatement too. Man, it's surreal, because you have the gift of life to another person, and me sitting in a chair for, Tuesday I was in the chair for about 7.5 hours, give or take, and I think Wednesday I was in there for 2, so 9 hours. We'll just round it to a solid 9 hours. Me sitting in a chair for 9 hours was the difference between somebody potentially probably losing their life and me, and them having who knows how long. I mean, I may have added on 50 years to their life because of something that I created in my own body. I mean, okay, I had a little bit of help. So they do give you injections. I don't remember the name of the medication. I'll have to look it up. I'll probably put it down there somewhere. To stimulate your body to make more stem cells. And I had to get 2 shots every day. Let's see, I started them on, let's see, my donation was on a Tuesday. That was when I got my last shot. So Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday. So 5 days worth of shots is what I had to do. So they would give me 2 in each arm, just right back here, on each day, and then they would alternate on days. And you know, it's not too bad. I mean, the first day, the visits probably was like maybe 30 minutes to an hour, because the nurse, she had to take vital signs, you know, get some kind of just a little bit of other information to make sure I was in good health and whatnot, and just continue good health, everything. But it was a really smooth process from, you know, when I first got that phone call to donation day. I wasn't nervous about donation day because I've donated blood before, and it's not necessarily donating blood. Of course, it's like stem cells and I think white blood cells, and I want to say, I think day 2 they did some platelets as well. But you know, it just, like I said, gratifying, I think, truly is an understatement. So I got to the donation center probably about I was late. I was actually running a little bit late. I got there at 8:20, and I think they had me in the chair and ready to go by just shy of 9 o'clock. And so what they do is, for me, I'm right-handed, so if they give me a choice of, okay, you have to put one arm, keep still, the other one you can move around, I'm moving around this one. Like I can't do jack squat with this hand, other than like for guitar. But this hand, you know, I use it for everything. I write with it. I'm typing my phone, you know, strumming, whatnot, for guitar and all that. So I was like, yeah, I'll give them this, you know. So this one's actually still healing up a little bit. It's a little bit bruised, not too bad. But you know, it's been coming up, it's on 2 days now, so it's really not bad at all. So you had one arm, or this one was the one I kept still, and they had an IV going out of me and going into the machine. The machine would filter my blood, take the stem cells out, as well as I guess was it platelets and I think some white blood cells. So they took all of that. I don't even know how to explain the numbers. I would really have to get a medical professional to, you know, understand that. Now they did tell me that they might have to collect for 2 days because my recipient is a little bit bigger than I am, size-wise. And you know, as soon as, you know, they told me that, I was like, I have no problem, you know, whatever it takes to save this person's life. So I did end up having to go 2 days. We got most of it, I think, on the first day. I think the count they wanted was like 24,000, something ridiculous like that. My total count was 30,000. So we did 24,000 the first day and 6,000 on the second day, which, like I said, it wasn't too bad, and it kind of flies by. You just have to kind of bring something to do. If you have a TV show that you have not binged, or that you need to binge, I'm telling you that is the perfect time to do it. I wish I would have saved Stranger Things for just one more day, but oh well. But so, first arm, take it out, filter everything through, and then they have this little apparatus that this coil of your tubing that goes into your other arm that gives your blood back, and it actually warms up your blood. I thought that was pretty cool to have. I was like, that's really neat. Some of you are probably wondering, well, did you have any complications throughout the time? They tell you leading up to it for those days, usually like 2 days before your donation, 2 or 3 days before your donation, start drinking a lot of water. I did. I drank as much as I could handle, but I also had some side effects from the shots. Some common ones are, I think you get, they say you can develop kind of cold and flu symptoms, and then you kind of like achiness like in your bones. I had mine a lot in my back, my lower back, as well as kind of my quad. Quad's still kind of healing. The back is pretty much back to normal now. Granted, like I said, it's been 3 days since I've been off of them, and 2 days since day 2 of my donation. Yeah, so that wasn't too bad. But during the process, I did have like a slight, not complication necessarily, but I was kind of running a little low on calcium, and they had to they actually had to stop my procedure for a few minutes because my lips were going numb and I could feel the numbness in my face as well. So they had to kind of cut off they cut off the process over here, and then they stopped my bloodline going back in, and they gave me, I think they ran saline through to just flush out my blood, and then they gave me, was it calcium citrate? I think it was what it was, just directly, because they mix it into your blood going back to kind of help with that. But they went ahead and gave it to me direct, just so that was, it would be replenished a little bit quicker. But other than that, that's the only trouble that I had, and you know that was only maybe about 10-15 minute hold up on the whole process, but it was really easy. I mean, I'm just sitting in a chair for like 7 hours. I watched a couple movies. Actually, I watched like three movies. I watched Clock Stoppers, Anger Management, of course, with Adam Sandler, and what was the other one I watched? I watched The Little Rascals. Just a little throwback to my childhood there. So, yeah, looking back on it, some of you are probably, well, would you ever do it again? No questions, in a heartbeat. For me, it's something personal. I've had family that have dealt with terminal illnesses and borderline terminal illnesses. And if there was anything I could possibly give them, organ-wise, blood-wise, or anything of the sort, I wouldn't think twice for it. And I would say that for another person that's, you know, hoping just to have a fulfilling life just like myself and you. So like I said earlier, you know, that, 7 to 9 hours that I was in that chair was the difference between a few months and years onto somebody's life. And, that's a pretty doggone good trade-off. I mean, I got to sit in a chair and watch movies while they filter out my blood and they give my blood back to me. Not really losing much here, and it's cool to help out another person. So, and like I said, I'm not saying any of this to boast. I just wanted to share my experience to maybe calm the nerves of people that are considering donating, and also just this is by no means a promotion, or I guess and another thing, this is by no means like a sponsor video or anything. This is me telling my story, because so many times we see the recipient side of things, but not so much from the donor's point of view, and I wanted to personify that. So I want to, if anything, for those that have donated bone marrow or anything of the sort, I would love to actually hear your story as well and share it with the world, because there's so many of us that could potentially be donors and save someone else's life, and we could possibly knock that registry down to nothing, or at least the wait list for others. So, yeah. So if you get a chance, donate. All you really do is a cheek swab. I mean, it takes 30 seconds. Just stick a little cotton swab in your mouth, and that could lead to you saving somebody's life. And I don't know, that's pretty cool. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This will probably be mixed in with some of my vlog. Or I think I'm actually gonna do the vlog separate. It's just gonna be like clips and whatnot. But please give it some thought. I don't want you to necessarily, picture that of like anybody in your family or somebody close to you, just for you to think about putting yourself on a registry. Just do it because, it's a good thing to do. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Bye guys.